Hey BGBers, and welcome to Board Game Burger. This is Taste Test, our format for crowdfunding projects. Today we are taking a look at something interesting, something I might even call special. Solar 175 is a sci-fi bag building action selection game with a twist. It's a legacy game, and you all know what that means. Boxes and envelopes with secret components to be unlocked as the story unfolds after you play each game. But no worries, no spoilers here. So let's launch into this tasty dish. 175 years since that unspeakable war. One government entity has taken over the solar system, but now there are new parties seeking to gain control. You have scraped and saved together enough funds to begin your incorporated enterprise. You are CEO, and it's time to hire your team and take advantage of the opportunity to make billions. But you are not alone in this pursuit. You'll have to outmaneuver your competitors in the brave new galaxy. The first game is set up with only 2 zones. All ships are on Earth along with the mega structure. Every player receives a player board, 4 permanent workers, a bag in their color with their faction symbol on it, a player aid, and their city card with flavor text about their company on the back. Then there are 3 phases in every round: the draw phase, assign workers phase, and action phase. In the draw phase, players simultaneously draw the amount of workers at random up to the limit shown on their player board. In the assign workers phase, players simultaneously play the actions they will take by placing the required workers on the slot. You can place workers on an action where you do not have enough workers to complete that action. But these workers must stay until you can take the action with the required amount of workers in the later round. Following the assign workers phase, players take the actions they have prepared following the player order. This is the meat and cheese of the burger. Here, players can take new workers and take the bonus action for taking that worker. If you take a pilot, you can move your ship to any location in the solar system. If you take a general worker, you can take a trade action selecting one of the 3 options explained later. Or maybe you want to try your hand at politics by taking a lobbyist. If so, remove an outpost from your player board. This will allow you to draw and place more workers each round. Or maybe you need to build more stuff. If so, take an engineer and an outpost action along with it. These actions will also be explained later. Or go and get yourself a jack of all trades like my awesome husband. Artificial intelligence counts as any other worker, thus no bonus action comes with taking them. When you take a trade action, you may either choose to take 1 credit, trade a mining resource for 3 credits, or pay 3 credits for a mining resource. Or maybe you want to grow your presence by building a base. To build a base, you must be on a location where one can be built. You pay the cost printed on the space card and build one of your 4 bases. Then you take the bonus action that you have revealed. Another way you can spread your presence in the solar system is by taking the outpost action. When taking this action, you choose from one of the 2 available cards to either place your outposts or to take them to your supply and earn some credits. Then flip the card that you have chosen to the other side. You can take a move your ship action by placing a pilot on your ship. You can place your ship anywhere in the solar system. Lastly, you could spend some of those workers. One option is you could vote. To do so, you pay one of the lobbyists by returning it back to the supply. Then, taking a voting tile, secretly mark one of the political factions and drop your vote into the box. Ding! Oh man, it sounds so nice. The 3 different political factions affect in-game scoring, so choose wisely. If voting doesn't season your patties, you can fund the mega structure. It's called the mega structure, and the game is all about taking power in the galaxy. So who doesn't want to help build it? All you have to do is spend an engineer by returning it to the supply and take a mega structure token. These are worth points at the end of the game. Lastly, you can enlist your workers into the UFSS Peacekeeping Force. Enlist a pilot, artificial intelligence, or general worker. These will also affect in-game scoring as a multiplier. The game ends when the last outpost of a player color is taken from the Nivian outpost. In in-game scoring, players gain player points for extra credits, mining, and resources. Then players score points based on the zones in which they built their bases and an additional point for each pilot conscripted in the UFSS. Then score 1 point for each megastructure token you own, plus 1 extra for every artificial intelligence conscripted. Gain 2 points for every military token, and if you have the greatest presence in a zone, score 1 point for each general worker enlisted. Bases and ships count as 2 influence, outposts as 1. If you have the most presence in a zone with the megastructure, score an additional 5 points. I told you it sounded important. At the end of the game, follow the instructions in the rulebook. Sometimes you'll be asked to place stickers or open secret things to add secret, awesome, delicious new stuff to the game. Like a secret blend of herbs and spices, but made of cards, tokens, and board game bits. Also, at the end of the game, each player will have progressed on certain achievements. Mark your progress to keep track because later, there will be awards. These awards will be how the ultimate winner is determined at the end of the campaign. I had a gut feeling the moment I saw the box cover of Solar 175. And guys, I have to say that I'm glad my gut was on point. It's like having a beautiful plate with a burger and fries set right in front of you, and it actually tastes as good as it looks. This is so satisfying because board games, just like with food, can sometimes have a beautiful presentation, but it lacks flavor. But in Solar 175, players are blessed with flavor text throughout the entire game. With a gorgeous magazine, background on each player's company and city location, flavor text for the political factions, and an intriguing game that changes after each play, becoming deeper and more complex. So, let's talk about what makes this game so gourmet. First, there are miniatures, but not so many that it's an overwhelming paint project. But with each ship, it's detailed enough to make the prospect of painting the game inviting and fun. Then, there's the double layered boards. Oh my gosh, guys, it's just so sweet when those come with a game and serve a purpose. The cloth bags are also well made, having the player color and symbol of each faction printed on the bag. But I'll admit that all is not perfect in the solar system, which is made up of cards. Because the main play area is made up of cards, they can easily become displaced and move around throughout play. This is not ideal, but I have no idea how this can be fixed. Also, the planet cards themselves could match the art of the rest of the game a little bit better. The backgrounds behind the planets are a little lacking, but this is a prototype, so we don't know the final artwork until the end of the campaign. When it comes to gameplay, Solar 175 is more Euro-style game of a cross between a 4X space game and Orleans. The epic story along with the bag building magic used to accomplish the actions on a player board. But what interests me the most is the control I have to affect end of game scoring. Not only can I contribute my workers to make an in-game scoring stronger, I can also vote on which faction I want, which will effectively double the end game points for each military token you own, or each megastructure tokens that you have. Plus, it's so satisfying to drop votes into the box. Oh, guys, this provides a great tension of the unknown without making it a luck-based randomizer. Like a weather die, the vote creates an unknowable outcome based on a strategy of all players rather than a chance of a die. It's just so clever. Elegant even, and elegant mechanisms get me hyped about a game, which makes me get it to the table more often. One thing I'm not for sure of, but I hope, is that like Charterstone, I hope Solar 175 will end the campaign with an awesome game I can continue to play and enjoy. Well, BGBers, this is as far as I can elaborate on my experience with Solar 175 without any spoilers. As you can tell, I am super hyped about this game, and for good reason. I can recommend it to those of you who like minis, good story, bag building, action selection, and a fresh take on sci-fi theme. If you found this video helpful in deciding whether or not Solar 175 is for you, please leave a like and subscribe. If not, I'll be sad. Well, as always, stay hungry for more board games. Cheers!